Well, joining me now is Riley Skinner, Executive Director of the Crisis Center for Northern BC. Riley, thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
This is an incredibly difficult time and tragedy. You know, we're hearing, and you hear from a student and so many students, there's 175 of them at this school that are going through this. And we're hearing a lot about it not sinking in. So just take us through, if you can, initially, some of the conversations that counselors, that therapists, and others that are going to be having with these kids as they try to process what happened on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, this is a profound, devastating tragedy, and human beings are not meant to hold this, at least not alone. Numbness, some difficulty concentrating, difficulty sleeping. These are all normal responses to something really, really impactful and tragic. And really, the best thing that we can do is connect with another person and try to do our best to not hold it alone. There are lots of ways that we connect with other people, whether it's the support center community, call lines, counselors, you name it. But the thing that is important is that we're doing it, is that we're reaching out and we're connecting.
I want to ask you, you're in northern BC, and I'm not sure exactly, you're in Prince George, so I know it's a few hundred kilometers away from Tumbler Ridge, but take me through some of the supports. We know that it's an issue right across the country in order for people to get the mental health support and to get some of the treatment or otherwise that they need. But take us through some of the specific challenges that many communities in northern BC face in accessing some of that support.
Yeah, I mean, rural and remote communities may not have access to the same supports that we're used to in metropolitan areas. So we need to be a little more creative in how we connect with one another. A lot of northern communities or small communities are really tight knit, and that is something that's a strength. These communities learn self-reliance and the ability to connect with one another, which is amazing. And usually the first thing that these communities are doing is coming together. Beyond that, there are a lot of different lines and services that are available 24/7. 310 Mental Health, it's 310-6789. This is a 24-hour crisis line that's available to anybody in need. The 988 Suicide Crisis Helpline, the 3-digit 988. I would also give the BC Bereavement Helpline. Their number is 604-738-9950. And this is a great place to start if you're needing to talk to someone but you're not sure where to go. But at the end of the day, any line is the right line.
For you in particular, too, though, Riley, being able to offer some of those supports, you're right. In smaller communities, sometimes, the stigma is still very much there as opposed to what we see in larger metropolitan areas. So in your view, how do you combat some of that, knowing, again, at least at this point, that the shooter and the suspect in this tragedy in particular has dealt with mental health challenges in the past?
Yeah, it's a tough question. It's a complicated question. I think it's important that we recognize that reaching out and getting support is a strong and courageous thing to do. It is not easy to do it. And actually taking that step is something that requires a bit of a push into discomfort. And when we take that step, we want to make sure that we acknowledge that that's a strong thing to do, and that's a brave and courageous thing to do. And many services like the Crisis Line will let you know that if you choose to reach out, because we know that it's not easy. We know that we are not taught how to connect to people when we need it, how to advocate for ourselves. And when people are doing it, we just want to make sure that we are providing as much encouragement as possible, because that is what these communities need, support and encouragement.
Yeah, Riley, I want to just, personally, do you know, has your center sent anyone to Tumbler Ridge at this point? Do you know others too that are in the community and talking to people that are there?
Yeah, we have not sent anyone to the community.
Okay.
I think the community has so much on their plate, and what we can do is be available over the phone 24/7 and make sure that everybody knows that not only the communities in Tumbler Ridge, but across BC and across Canada.
Riley Skinner, Executive Director for the Crisis Center for Northern BC. Appreciate your time today, Riley. Thank you.
Thank you.